stuck in the country $1 billion in just the month of March. Now, the Russian invasion has blocked off exports, and Ukraine is trying to get up. 98% of grain exports, for example, go through typically some ports in the south. And that's what we've been talking about as the Russian Navy has been able to stop the Ukrainian Navy from being able to get their boats out safely. So what do? They have to get it out through rail cars. About half of the rail cars are held right here in Azov. And these blue skinny lines you see moving, that's where the major rail lines are at. But all of it's held right here on the border with Poland at the moment. They can't get across. Now, one reason for the slowdown, and it seems simple, but it's a big deal, is how wide these tracks are placed apart. Now, Ukrainian railways were originally built to a Soviet standard. So what's in Ukraine is the same that's in Russia, but what's in Ukraine is not the same that's outside the other NATO countries. The difference is this right here, roughly about 3 inches. And that's all it takes. So they have to stop the trains to connect to Polish tracks. Now, each train, when you look at it, must slow down to around 5 miles an hour. I think we have some video of that. They drive over a machine and a building that adjusts the width without stopping. And sometimes cargo needs to be unloaded, as this process you see here is done. Now, this is very advanced. This is probably within the last 10 years. Now, this is the way they've done it for about 40 years in this video. It's a second way. You have to unbolt the wheel assemblies for one track width. The bolt.
Hey, get back in here, Dolly.
Another wheel assembly. You can imagine here, Corey, how this can
Dolly, no, be nice.
Hours. And in fact, I went through that process myself once, and it does take a long time. That's a carryover from the World Wars. One last key point here when you look at it. This means that it is easy for the Russians to go through the borders with their trains and ram straight through if they wanted to do that. And that's why they did in the old days and during the World Wars have different widths so that they couldn't go from east to west. This hurts Ukraine because that means they have to stop, wait for that change, and then move on. And that makes it difficult for escape. One last point, it makes it very difficult here, Corey, to get the refugees out quickly. It's very slow. Only 14% of the refugees have gotten out vis-a-vis these train tracks here.
Yeah, when you're talking about the human element, I mean, we can talk about money all day long, but when you put into perspective with the human element, it's just devastating. Richard Louie, thank you.
Dolly, get back in here.
67 and counting, the Washington's Who's Who gathering that's getting attention for all the wrong reasons.
I think she's tired now. Okay, leave her alone.